Hi everyone! So a little while ago in my unpopular opinions video, which was very unpopular, I talked about decluttering. I talked about the haul and decluttering cycle, and I talked about my general dislike of large makeup declutters. And I've kind of been going through some of those topics and expanding on them a little bit more because I've had a lot of people ask for more clarification, and this is something that I have talked about quite a bit in different videos, and I thought that I would just expand on it a little bit. Some of this discussion relates to beauty channels. I just want to preface this though by saying I'm not targeting anybody in particular. This is stuff that I've noticed over the many years watching YouTube, as well as being at least somewhat part of the beauty community. Some of this is coming from people I've talked to who are fellow content creators, people who are just beauty consumers. Some of it is just my general knowledge, but I just want to put that little disclaimer out front that I'm not speaking with any particular person or people in mind. So I'll start by talking about why I dislike massive declutters, specifically thinking about those from large YouTubers, and by large YouTubers I generally mean people who do YouTube as their job. They tend to do big declutters if they do them, and I mean they get rid of a ton of stuff. I feel like these videos are very popular, which is why they do them, and I feel like sometimes it feels like there's not a whole lot of heart behind them besides these videos get views, I'm gonna let people watch me get rid of stuff. They can be visually entertaining in terms of seeing the products up close and seeing swatches, maybe hearing a little bit about products the person likes and the products that they don't like. So that's the good thing and the appealing thing. Again, this is just purely my opinion here. The biggest issue I have with those large declutters is how applauded those people are for getting rid of so much stuff. And it's really easy to let go of so much stuff and be ruthless with your decluttering when you received so much of that product for free. It's easy to get rid of products that you didn't actually pay for yourself. You lose a little bit of a sense of that value there, that monetary value, because you didn't actually have any money leaving your hands when you were collecting them. So I can only speak from my own experience and just what it seems like when I see things, because when I have watched declutters in the past, it really seems like people have a very easy time of letting go of stuff that they received as a gift, as PR, as just something that they didn't actually purchase themselves, and people are more likely to keep something that they had actually spent their money on. I think it's also easy to let go of so much stuff when you know you're going to have this constant stream of new stuff coming in. And then there is that privilege factor as well, that a lot of these people who are doing these massive declutters are fairly well off. So even if they aren't receiving a bunch of this product for free, which at that level they probably are, and they also have the means to keep purchasing new things and repurchasing whenever they feel like. Now there are people who declutter and then follow that declutter with a haul, effectively getting rid of old stuff to make room for new things. It's not a bad idea in theory. Getting rid of old products that no longer work for you, things that don't bring you joy, products that you're tired of, you don't want anymore, so you're gonna get rid of, you're gonna donate, you're gonna give away to a friend. It makes sense, except for when it's followed by a haul of new products that are almost exactly the same shades, in the same category, the same finishes. That's what doesn't seem to be very healthy to me. I'm not saying I'm an expert here, but oftentimes it seems like the declutter is justification for buying the new shiny thing. If you're not a fan of a particular formula, finish, shade, and you decluttered it, buying it again so soon after getting rid of it, your opinion probably isn't going to change. If you felt like coral was unflattering on you, it's probably going to remain unflattering in your opinion. Your opinion might change, but it's not likely to change within a month or two. I feel like sometimes people buy entire collections in order to swatch and review it. which may not necessarily be rewarding, because if you're at a level where that is going to be rewarding, you're probably already receiving the collection for free, and that's a whole other ballgame. One thing I've noticed just in general, I'm really speaking very general here, but there seems to be a lack of awareness when it comes to preferences for products because products are used so sparingly. A decision was then made quickly, and it seems like a habit forms. Shopping can be an addiction. For some people, it really is. And some people choose to publicly display these addictions and then also make excuses for them, which makes me a little hesitant sometimes when I see this happening, because I feel like it can definitely influence a viewer, especially when it's portrayed in such a, it's good to get rid of old things because you can then reward yourself by getting the new things. Decluttering in and of itself should feel like the reward. Instead, in some cases, it seems like the high comes from the views that the decluttering video gets, and then knowing that the cycle can continue because it's more products coming in, more products going out, more products coming in, it continues. There's enjoyment from purchasing things. I'm not trying to discount any of that. I'm not saying buying things is bad. I'm not saying getting rid of things is bad. I'm talking about this very specific mentality. And even taking content creators out of the equation, just looking at sort of an everyday person who doesn't create makeup content in any way. Although I think on some level, people probably wouldn't have the same sort of behaviors that I've witnessed and from people that I've spoken to if they weren't influenced on some level by people they've seen exhibit these sort of behaviors, because then it seems normal. So I'm just gonna give this example, sort of set the scene here. You've spent a couple $100s on makeup. You're very, very excited. You're taking everything carefully out of the packages. You're looking at all of the beautiful packaging. You're looking at everything untouched. You're swatching things on the back of your hand and on your arm. You're putting the new product on your face for the very first time. There is such joy in those moments. But eventually, that high goes away because the products aren't new anymore. You're left with things that maybe you didn't really want in the first place, but the pictures online looked so good. That review you watched, it really sold you that way that person wore it. It was definitely the thing that was gonna be it for you. But wait, it's not actually for you. This isn't the kind of stuff that you like. You're not the kind of person that wears that sort of shade in lipstick. You know, it's not, pale pink isn't your thing. And those sparkly eyeshadows, well, they were fun to swatch and play with a little bit, but also not your thing. You're a matte person. So what were you thinking buying these eyeshadows that looked good online? You really want to get back to your everyday staples, but you feel a little bad that those things are just sitting there because you did buy them. You thought you were gonna like them, but you didn't, so okay, time to get rid of them. Let's donate what's barely touched. Let's pass on stuff to friends. Let's let it go, and boy, does it feel good that that stuff is gone. You don't have that clutter anymore. It feels really good, really satisfying to have let go so easily. But then, wait a second, everything kind of looks boring now. Your old makeup, it's not new and sparkly. It's stuff you've had for a while. Yeah, it's good stuff, but you know, it'd be nice to try something new. So let's see what's out there. Let's see, oh, somebody just bought that new sparkly eyeshadow palette. That looks beautiful. Now that you would definitely use. And it would probably go well with that lipstick they use, that pale pink. Now that's definitely your thing. That's 100% gotta buy it. It's so easy to fall into that cycle, especially when you're being told you need something that you have to have, when there's this hunt for the holy grail. And even if you think you found your holy grail, what if there's something that's even better? And you won't know unless you try everything. And I feel like a lot of that comes in sometimes with this haul, declutter, haul mentality, because it's getting a bunch of things at one time and trying it and then realizing, well, you know, maybe this isn't the thing for me, and then buying more and repeating it without actually spending a lot of time on the products and realizing why you don't like something or that it's not actually going to be the thing for you. I feel like people really want certain products to work for them from certain brands or things that their favorite people recommend, things that look good on them. They just really want it to work for them, so they keep buying those same things when it doesn't necessarily work that way. Again, generally speaking, but you know, back to content creators, when you even showcase a declutter, you are putting all of that out there for people to judge and make comments on. It's really easy to get involved with people who are telling you to get rid of more than what you are getting rid of, or to keep more. I think for some content creators, some people who do declutters a lot, they can be enabled by their subscribers, by their viewers, if they are interacting with the comments or if they're just reading them. Because I feel like a lot of people have best intentions, but sometimes you can see a lot of people enabling. Like, oh my God, you did so good. You got rid of so many things. You can definitely afford to treat yourself now. You can definitely afford to buy all those new things you've had your eye on. You've got the space. When you're looking for an excuse, believe me, you'll find one. I never fell into the haul declutter cycle myself. I was definitely more just a haul and hoard kind of person, but I was definitely looking for justification for my behavior, and it was very easy to find it. I could say something in a video and I could have 50 people respond back and be like, yeah, you totally deserve that. You've earned that. You deserve that product. I was looking for justification. I was trying to create the circumstances where I would get the response back that I wanted, and definitely not a healthy habit to develop. It's why I ended up accumulating so much stuff, because I just kept buying things and I was trying to pan things, but I can't pan as fast as I was buying, and I was refusing to declutter things. And I'm kind of glad, because I feel like it might have been worse. I might have spent more money and had less stuff if I got rid of more things. I mean, I did get rid of a lot of things, but I got rid of stuff in a way where I wasn't using it as justification to purchase new things. And it's just something that I see so often. I've seen it recently. I remember just the other day I sent a message to my friend because I saw something on Twitter where someone was like, I don't know why people are upset. I decluttered 3 pallets and bought 2 new ones because I made space for them. I got rid of the old things so that I could buy the new things. And it was very much like justification for just getting rid of the old things that weren't so shiny and new, not that there was anything wrong with the things that they got rid of, just that they wanted the new things and they wanted an excuse to get the new things. And it's that kind of behavior that I see a lot, and that's sort of going back to my unpopular opinion video where I said, you know, I don't like the big declutters, and I don't like seeing the haul declutter cycle that seems to happen often with some types of beauty channels. I feel like there's a comparison thing to be conscious of sometimes too. I'm very susceptible to that, where I will see other people doing something and then feel like I can do the same thing. And I think if more people had been more upfront about it, about being, you know, so much stuff was received for free, or they know that they are in a privileged situation where they have the income to buy so much stuff, I feel like if more people were open about that, I wouldn't have fallen as hard as I did, feeling that I had to buy everything, all of the new things. And I feel like it's just something to be aware of, that just because somebody is purchasing so many things or getting rid of so many things, it doesn't mean that you are any less. It doesn't mean that you getting rid of a couple of products is any less valuable than someone getting rid of like 50 or 100, because your collection is going to be different, your needs are going to be different, and your lifestyle is probably going to be a lot different. That's one thing that I keep reminding myself, is that the person who's getting rid of 100 blushes is probably getting 100 new blushes coming in. It's why they can kind of constantly be doing these sort of large declutters, because they are constantly getting new products. That's not my life. I can't do that sort of stuff because I don't have the new things getting in. I have to work with what I already have. And some people are trying to like build up a beauty channel, so they are investing a lot of money on product to review, and then they go through that whole haul, review, declutter cycle, and it kind of keeps going. And it can be a little disheartening, because sometimes, you know, you want to see somebody use a product a little bit longer, and you want to see people use some of their older products, but that's just not the popular content on YouTube. People like to see the new products. The videos that do really well are the people who get the new products quick and that do looks with the products and review and first impressions and brand new shiny things is what the majority of people want to see. But I get tired of seeing it sometimes. Like I want to see people use their products, and I want to see more reviews, and I want to see, you know, more empties. I want to see people using products and talking about the likes and dislikes, and it's just a very personal thing. Probably a little bit of a pet peeve maybe, that I just get sort of irritated by the massive declutters where people are just like, I haven't really reached for this, I don't really like this, and can't really describe why, explain why, and it's usually the same thing over and over again. It's just like they don't like the same product, and it's like, maybe you can make a connection there. It's just maybe it's a little petty, but that's why I don't like declutters, and I just feel like the haul declutter cycle can be very toxic, and when you notice people doing it, you can't unsee it. And I've been talking about it for years, but it always seems to be a bit of a hot button issue and kind of controversial whenever I bring it up. And again, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. This is something that I've noticed and commented on for years. For many years. It's just something that I feel like just keeps happening, and it makes me a little sad when I see it happening with small content creators and people who are trying to build up. It makes me sad seeing people spend so much money, so much of their own hard-earned money, people who aren't receiving any of these products for free, and then just filming big declutters because they get views. It doesn't sit well with me. And anyway, I'm sure this is going to be a controversial video in and of itself, or unpopular, but anyway, that's my opinions, and hopefully a little bit more clarification on why I don't like those sort of videos and sort of general habits, and just a little bit more insight on how I personally have been in terms of hauls and declutters. Again, I don't see anything wrong with either. I have done hauls before, I have done declutters before. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those things. I'm just saying that the patterns is what can be problematic, and again, just my opinion. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on sort of the big YouTuber declutters, and what are your thoughts on the haul declutter cycle? If you've noticed it, does it bother you, or do you not notice it at all? I'm just curious to hear. I always like doing these kind of chatty videos because I like to hear from you guys and get your opinion and get your feedback, because I learn so much from the different perspectives in the comments, and it's very interesting to me. I love hearing from other people who have different points of view and who have experienced the beauty community in a different way than I have, and who have experienced maybe something similar to what I've experienced or what I've witnessed, but not exact. So it's more interesting for me to hear from a bunch of different people. So anyway, hope that was clear as mud, right? Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.